A Father's Love, Episode 19, The Biggest Secret. Dad usually prays late at night or early in the morning. Nothing too loud, but I frequently hear him pacing up and down or see the light in his room turn on. I couldn't sleep one night, so I laid down on Daddy's bed. He finished praying and looked surprised to see me on his bed. "Hanging out with me tonight?" I couldn't sleep, so I thought I might as well crash your party. Dad burst out laughing. "Sorry you missed the prayer party, but we can start all over again." "No, Dad. Prayer is so boring." "Really? What made you think so?" "The idea of talking to myself for an hour or more sounds crazy to me." "Why would anyone do that?" "It's crazy to be praying to yourself." I quickly looked at Dad. "So, who do you talk to?" "Of course, I talk to God whenever I'm praying," Dad said almost before I finished the last sentence. "Really?" I looked at Dad, not smiling. From my facial expression, Dad could infer that a serious talk was needed. I would normally prefer to shift this discussion to another day, but it's so important. It's one of the biggest secrets of my life. Dad sat on the bed next to me. "I don't get how you can talk to someone you don't see. When you pick up the phone to talk to your friends, do you see them?" "I can choose to see them or not depending on if I turn on the video feature." In the olden days, the video feature didn't exist. "Dad, it seems to me that you're implying that prayer is an old-school phenomenon." I was going to laugh, but held off. "Not at all. I'm trying to show you how prayer is as modern as it gets." I giggled and made an expression of "really?" "Let me first take you back to a time when there was no phone at all." "Okay." A mind that's not enlightened or exposed to prayer has no knowledge of prayer or can't pray. I nodded a bit, but frowned and stopped nodding. "How, Dad? Remember the phone analogy?" I nodded in agreement. "What made them not have phones to communicate in those days?" I'll say because they weren't exposed or have knowledge of the technology of phones. As soon as a mind becomes enlightened about prayer, it will start acting on it. Dad paused. He might not necessarily see the person he's talking to, but he knows he's talking to someone. That's crazy. I turned away from Dad for a few seconds, then turned back to him. "Sorry to say, Dad, but you forgot our phone analogy." Dad smiled. "What made you keep talking to someone without the video feature turned on?" "I know the person is there." "How do you know?" "Because I've seen it demonstrated and I know it works, so I believe anytime I turn that dial, someone will respond." Dad pointed at me with excitement. "Exactly my point. Once you're enlightened about prayer, you know it works. You're going with the mindset of belief that you're talking to someone. If prayer doesn't work, it'll be insane to keep doing it. It's about having the right mindset." Wow, light bulb moment. I'm afraid you're almost convincing me about this prayer thing. I covered my head with the pillow. Then suddenly, I looked at Dad. "How about the aspect of seeing the person you're talking to?" "Great question. I see the person I'm talking to through the Word of God," said Dad, bringing out a Bible and pointing at it. "I get revelation about God from here. Once I start praying, I'm praying based on that revelation." I nodded slowly. "How about those that have no Bible? Or even in the very olden days before the Bible was written?" God is not limited to a book. He reveals himself to us in many different ways. It could be through a dream, natural process, animals, other human beings, anything, you name it. Dad paused. "Once he reveals himself, he starts communicating. It's left to you whether to keep it going or not." "Dad," I said, pausing. Dad looked at me as if he was reading my mind. "I have the impression that God is revealing himself to me tonight through you." Dad looked surprised, as I could see he was devoured by any words. "The big question now is, how do I pray?" "It's very easy. Pray based on the revelation of God you got. Keep it real." "How do I keep it real?" "Talk to God like a friend." "What if I don't know what to say?" Have you ever had any problem finding what to say to your best friend? In most cases, I usually don't, but there are some exceptional one in a billion occurrences that some friends and I just don't know what to say. If you don't know what to say to God, then let him know you don't know. That's how you keep it real. There was silence thereafter. Could this be the reason why I couldn't sleep tonight? I thought to myself.